Let's talk about the cosmic triangle for a second. What is the cosmic triangle? It's like a love triangle from the in-between lives. It's the idea that three souls made a contract, some sort of understanding between each other, that they would be there for each other no matter what, to support each other. Now let's say there's soul A, B, and C. One of those souls is going to be the primary soul. So soul A, for the purpose of this example, is the primary soul. Now B and C, what the understanding they have is one of them will come first to partner with soul A. So soul B and C make this contract between them, that one of them will come forward and partner with soul A, whichever one comes first. Now let's say for the purpose of this, soul C appears to just come and meet with soul A first. They partner together, they have maybe a wonderful life, and something happens within the relationship. Either soul C ends up dying early, or the relationship ends and soul C completely drops out of soul A's life. At that moment in time, because of the agreement that B and C had together prior to reincarnating, there's some sort of signal that goes on through the system, through the energetical system of this planet, that just taps soul B. And at that point in time, soul B will make its way to soul A. However long that might take. Sometimes it takes a few months, sometimes it takes a few years. Sometimes soul B has always been around. But soul A never really looked at soul B more than just a friend. So you see countless stories of people that have had exactly that happen to them. They're widowed, and then another person came through and they never thought they would find love again. And suddenly they have found this wonderful person that they actually can continue their life with. So this is actually a pretty common occurrence. I have seen it many, many times. How would that happen and why? Like, why would there be such a decision? Why could soul A and C not partner together for the rest of their life? Well, there could be many different reasons. It could be that soul A needs to learn what it feels like to be left. And so there's that choice. It could be that soul C knew very well that the body they were going to come in was going to be potentially a lemon. And so they wanted to have a backup plan. And so they had tapped soul B just in case. That was not a sure thing. That was just in case that the body that they're choosing for that life might potentially have something defective so that they could not make it through the rest of their life. So that could be some of the reason why. Now I'm going to tell you a story that actually is happening to my own mother. My mom and my father were together for over 40 years. They divorced about 12 years ago. And my mother had a series of boyfriends that were just like, meh, not the greatest, but okay. But it was just not it. And about a year and a half ago, she met this absolutely wonderful and amazing man. And they've been together for a year and a half or so. They mostly live together. He's a widow. And so for him to be able to find her and for her to be able to find him, they had to be in a place where they could accept each other. My mother divorced about 12 years ago. His wife died about 7 years ago. My mother had a string of boyfriends. He had a long-time girlfriend that ended up leaving him a couple of years back. They were not available for each other, but they were always meant to be together. You should see them together. It's like two peas in a pod. It's like they have been together forever, and they've known each other for lifetimes. And so they are the perfect example of a cosmic triangle. My mother told me that a couple of months ago, they went to visit this man's wife at the cemetery. And he went in front of her tomb and introduced my mother to her, telling her how much he loved my mother and how he wanted his departed wife to know my mother and to just be okay with her. And he told her how she is so a good friend with their kids and grandkids and how well she takes care of the garden. And it was the cutest thing. Maybe it appears a little weird, but it was the cutest thing. And at that moment in time, I realized that there's really almost two cosmic triangles that happen in that case. My mother, my father, and this man. This man, my mother, and his wife. So, anyhow, it takes many shapes. I just want to share that story. I wanted to share that concept. What do you think? Let me know. I'm Mallory. I'm a psychic and medium. I try to bring more grounded approach to the psychic world, and hopefully this was not too out there. All right. Thanks for being here.